How strange it is that we are here in this place together in the middle of a cold winter night. What brings us to this cathedral church in the heart of winter in the very middle of the night? Part of the answer goes back about 800 years to St. Francis of Assisi. One of my favorite books about his life is called God's Fool, The Life and Times of Francis of Assisi. And there is a passage in here that has always moved me. I want to share it with you about the first night when Midnight Mass was celebrated. Francis had had a difficult year, and someone had given him a beautiful wooded mountain that overlooked the rocky spur of a village and the whole Rieti Valley all the way to the blue-tinged summit stretching to the horizon. The sound of those mountains made me think a bit of East Tennessee. Everywhere you look, there are mountains in the distance. Francis had founded a little hermitage on a sheer wall of rock, using, as he habitually did, one of the caves supplied by nature and transformed it into a chapel. On his request, a manger was installed and generously provided with straw. An ox and an ass followed, the witnesses demanded by tradition. As far as we know, that night was the first time that anyone had created a living nativity scene. And because Francis loved the Lord Jesus, he wanted to experience every moment of the mystery of Christ, including his birth. That's why he recreated a living nativity. And almost all of our creches today come from that experience on that night of Christmas. In the middle of the night, torches were lit, and people from all the region walked up through the trees, torches in hand, making the mountain's paths surge like streams of light. A priest came to say the Mass, which was celebrated over the manger, now become a crib, and Francis, wearing the dalmatic of a deacon, read the Nativity Gospel. The crowd was amazed at this rediscovery of the great mystery, and they closely followed the least details of the ceremony. Many believed they saw Francis holding in his arms the child swathed in light. As Francis proclaimed the good news of Christmas, they saw him holding the Christ child. The same saint who will be marked with the stigmata of Christ, the marks of his crucifixion, so closely connected to the person of Jesus at that moment. That night had an exceptional sweetness which was never forgotten. The brothers went singing out into the woods, and the torches glowed almost everywhere, as if to join in that explosion of expected good cheer and to respond to the darkness of the sky. That was the first midnight Mass, full of a poetry that only a Francis of Assisi could have discovered. A year of difficulty ended for him on a note of ecstatic joy. St. Francis loved Jesus with his whole being, and he wanted to be close to him. I suspect that for us tonight, somewhere in our own soul, we want that same closeness with the Lord Jesus. That's why we're here tonight. And if the God who created the whole universe chose to reach out and become human, to touch our humanity, because of pure love for you and me, so that we could live forever with God, then it is right and proper that we are here tonight in this holy place. Merry Christmas. May the light of Jesus shine in your hearts tonight. And as you leave this place tonight, may streams of light flow with you wherever you go during this holy season. May the incarnate Jesus, who claimed you for himself, fill you tonight with his holy peace.